Yeah, now we're in.
I'm
All
not
right.
with computers. We'll just be real.
You're on that Army Wi-Fi. We'll blame the Army Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So, dude, what's up? Thank you for coming on. This is super exciting, at least for me. I don't know if it's as exciting for you, but I'm pumped about this one.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, for sure, dude. So, I start with my guests' accomplishments, and this is a list. So this is the longest list. I actually had to shorten it. I got all the accomplishments and I was like, there's no way I'm going to sit there for 5 minutes and rattle this off. So I just kind of broke it down. So we'll start with area matches. 19 area match wins. That's a lot.
Thanks.
That's a lot. We got 2018 Pro-Am, two double taps, 2018 IPSC Nats. We got 2017 single stack nationals, which I didn't know. That was the first time I heard about that. I didn't know you had won single stack. That's pretty legit.
Yeah.
And then 2020 production nationals, along with like 75 other matches that are big matches that I didn't have time to write them all down.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
That's huge, man. I mean, yeah. How old are you?
I'm 24.
24. So you're 3 years younger than me, and you've won probably as many matches as I've shot. Let's talk about that, man. When did you start shooting?
I started shooting competitions when I was 10 years old, and I didn't really do anything worthy of like practice or anything. It was just like for fun. But then when I turned 12 is when I started it like, let's do this, and I got serious.
That's pretty cool, man. So competitively, you've been going for over a decade.
Yes.
When did you? So you're obviously you're a part of the Army Marksmanship Unit, which is amazing. I mean, you think about the all-time greats that have come out of that. I mean, Casey Eusebio, Max Michel, Shane Coley. I'm sure I'm missing a dozen, right? But those are the three that come to mind. I mean, that all y'all do over there is breed just straight up killers. You know what I mean? Just winning machines.
Yeah, we've got a pretty nice setup, and if you put your time in, you can get a lot out of the unit. That's for sure.
For sure, man. When did you join? How old were you?
I joined in 2015. I was 18, and I got to the unit in November. So
That's pretty cool, man. So you went in knowing like AMU is where I want to be, right?
I got hired in high school to join the United States Army Marksmanship Unit, and so then I went to basic training and advanced individual training to be a combat engineer. So that's like my Army job, where I just
Oh,
like a lot of explosives and stuff and building bridges. And then my first assignment was the Army Marksmanship Unit. So
that's super legit, man. So, I mean, being a part of the AMU obviously is competing, but y'all also do a lot with training other members of the military, correct?
yes, we do.
That is a crazy thing to think that not only are you guys representing the Army and competing all over, because y'all are everywhere. I don't think I ever show up to a major match and y'all aren't there. Like, it's
Yeah,
almost a thing now where I show up and I'm like, where are the Army guys? You know, they're around here somewhere.
yeah,
Not only are you doing that, but you're training full time and you're also instructing the brave men and women that serve this country. I mean, that's got to be I mean, it seems like as far as honors go, I mean, that's pretty awesome to not only be a dominant competitor, but also contribute that on the same level.
yeah. Thank you. And it's really rewarding if I can get people to or soldiers to be more effective in the battlefield. Not only are they going to get their job done easier, but they're going to be safer. So it's pretty
Yeah, for
rewarding when
sure.
you can impact their shooting ability so quickly. Um, and the whole
Yeah.
team, we do a lot of training. So
Yeah, I mean, every time I see you guys on your Instagram, it's shooting at that awesome complex you guys got. That looks like a candy store, man. That
yeah,
range is nuts,
yeah,
nuts.
pretty awesome. We have two pneumatic plate racks. moving, like mover target, and a bunch of steel and paper. So
That's pretty legit, man. So I'm excited to have you on because we're T minus like no time at all before the next low cap nationals, which is where you will be defending your title.
right, yeah.
Are you nervous? Are you excited? Are you, what's kind of going through your head with that?
I'm both. Because if you're not nervous, then I feel like you don't care. And I'm also very excited, obviously, because it's defending my title and it'll be a big. So
It's huge, man. I'll be honest. And I have people who can back me up on this. I told this to a lot of people, but going into last year's production nationals, like me and all my shooting buddies, we always go, who's going to do it, right? Who's going to do what? And you were my pick for production nationals, and I almost bet a buddy of mine $100 who had nils. He had nils winning, and I was like, "You want to make this interesting?" And we didn't do it, but I would have won $100, which would have been super exciting. I think I even came up to you when you won, and I was just like, "You almost won me $100."
I know. I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man, to see it all come to fruition. I saw you throughout the whole year. I mean, you shot pretty much every single match I was at, and I think vice versa. And I was just seeing it, right? I was like, holy dude, this dude's unstoppable. I mean, you were beating, not only were you handedly beating the crap out of pretty much everybody in production, but the other guys, limited, open, PCC. I mean, you were constantly in that like top 10, top 5 overall at all these big matches with a production gun. I was like, surely this guy, and you actually smacked me at 2 area matches where I was like, oh God, I just got dominated by a guy with a production gun. I was like, oh, that's nice, so good. But then I knew it was you, so I was like, it's all right,
Yeah, production guns are pretty nice. They're nowadays heavy metal guns that shoot minor power factor, and the triggers have gotten pretty good. And pretty much every company is starting to flare some magwells a little bit more. So, I mean,
yeah. I mean, they're coming a long way.
Oh yeah,
for sure. So let's talk about your upcoming season. So obviously you're going to defend your title pretty early on, right?
right.
Are you thinking of trying any other divisions throughout the year since you're going to have nationals over with so fast? Or are you maybe going to go try to hit another nationals in another division?
So after nationals, I'm going to switch to 3-gun, where I'm going to shoot tac ops, and I've got 3 or 4 matches lined up for that. I don't think anyone is going to shoot the multi-gun nationals put on by USPSA because it's not going to fit in the schedule. And then we have, I think, Area 3 is my first pistol match where I'll be back in production, and I'll be gearing up for the World Shoot. So,
yeah, man, because I mean, you're on the World Shoot team, which bravo, dude, bravo. Yeah. That's a huge goal of mine. Is obviously winning World Shoot is everyone's dream, right? But just making it to the team.
Oh yeah.
Just making it to the team is incredible. And to be honest, I was talking with this about a buddy. I mean, when it comes to World Shoot and production, I'm pretty sure Griffel is going to shoot open because I doubt he's going to let the people who I think would win if he's not there in open do what they want to do.
Yeah.
That leaves Griffel out, right? Because that's a hard test for anyone. I'm not saying you couldn't do it because I fully believe you can after seeing you shoot.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's a beast, but the way you shot nationals last year, I was like, it seemed like everyone was here, right? And you were just here. You were so focused, so leveled. I came and watched a little bit. I was like, holy shit, this guy's on another plane of existence right now. I don't think anyone could have beaten you there at that point, right? You take that into World Shoot, I'm interested.
Yeah, it's definitely a different flavor of match for sure going to IPSC over USPSA, and I've only shot 4 or 5 IPSC matches, but I mean I would obviously do my best. So
I mean, you've won an IPSC Nationals 2018. Just saying, it's on the.
That's on my bio. I technically lost Eduardo de Cobos, but I won the plaque and all the stuff because he wasn't an American or whatever. He's from, I think, Spain. So
Well, the Spanish gave up in every war they've been in, so they don't really count. But or is that the French? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's the French I'm thinking of. I don't know. Nobody cares. Did the Spanish even have a military at this point?
All I know is the Americans have pretty good military, so don't feel
The
bad.
best. You can say the best. Let's be real here. All right, so so you're going to shoot some three gun, which is pretty cool because I was going to bring that up because you sent me this crazy list of accomplishments. Those seem to be just USPSA. I know you've won a lot of big matches in three gun, two gun, all those other stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen you win those matches, so we're not even counting those.
So three gun, I've placed pretty high in a couple of them, but it wasn't until last year that I won like an official major match. But yeah, I'm
But you
working
don't.
three gun matches.
Yeah, but I mean, you train predominantly USPSA, so it's not like you're dedicating your full time. Like Daniel Horner was a great example of like his job was three gun, right? And of course, Daniel Horner was the best,
Mm-hmm.
right? It serves to reason that you being as good as you are in production, right, or in USPSA, not just production, but in USPSA in general, if you were to put that same time and effort into just three gun, period, I believe you could probably beat anybody. And I'm excited to see what you do with TAC Ops for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely switching and, not really going to shoot USPSA. It'll just be all three gun for, I think, 2 months or 3 months. And then we'll go back to production. So,
That might be a good little break, before World Shoot. Just kind of go get, do another flavor, get
mhm.
out there, have some fun, and then come back strong for the World Shoot.
Yeah. And what I've found is obviously I've been shooting production for a long time. Pretty much all those are production wins with some single stack in there. I found that if I don't switch a division or go to shoot three gun or whatever, it kind of gets I wouldn't say bad, but I'm not excited or pumped going to some of these like area matches and stuff. But that break with three gun kind of gives me the good mental break I feel like I need. And,
Yeah, I mean, get you kind of psyched for a World Shoot. You get back, you
yeah.
grab the old production gun and go, here you are. Here's old Betty. Let's give her a run. Any interest in shooting a different division? I mean, because you just re-upped, right, with the AMU not too long ago, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I just reenlisted last month for 2 years. So.
Awesome. Any so are you interested in shooting any other divisions at that time in the AMU? I mean, I know you have other members in other divisions, but any interest there?
Um, I really want to shoot three guns. So if I can, do well at World Shoot and then move to three gun, that would be like stellar. But obviously, I have a job and winning USPSA matches does a lot for the unit. So I don't know, but
Are
I
you
might
telling me that we could possibly lose Hetherington to the three gun guys?
potentially, yeah. But there's
Oh,
there's a good chance I'll still shoot some USPSA.
oh, I think I'm having a heart attack.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
The
Why?
appeal to
Three guns cool, but I mean, come
yeah
on,
the
is it that
appeal
cool?
the appeal with three gun is, instead of walking up to every stage and being like, oh, did I load my mags? Like finding a stage plan? It's like you walk up to a three gun stage. Oh, this is a three bay three gun stage. Okay, what bay am I going to shoot? What gun? Like which stage is going to be better for that? And then it's like, oh, I have buckshot shotgun targets with some slugs over here. So how am I going to adjust my caddies on my belt? And then where am I dumping my shotgun? Where am I picking up my rifle? Like, oh, I got some hosing rifle targets. I'm going to shoot like my 55 grain ammo on that and then do a reload into some long range stuff. And then, on the same stage, what's my holds for 300, 400, 500, 600, or whatever the targets are at. And then, once I dump my rifle, I got a 80-yard pistol gong shot into some hosing. And it's 2 on paper for three guns. So it's like shooting on the move is pretty much mandatory, almost like as much as you can, because, you can shoot on the move pretty well when you can just, hit brown. So there's a lot more thinking and strategy and skills in 3-gun, which is always keeping me, like, it's never, everything is so different. And I think that's a good appeal because I've done USPSA for so long.
Yeah. Nobody has ever made 3-gun sound that cool. Just going to say. And you got some people really excited. Like Connor Freiberger was like, let's fucking go. He's like, I legit just jumped back in to hear this. I mean, you got some 3-gun guys excited. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of them in the TAC Ops division that are nervous knowing that, you know, the monster is coming into play. But, yeah, are you not entertained? I mean, I haven't. I've told myself I was going to shoot some 3-gun this year. I have yet to do it. I shot a local match or two, but they were, you know, they were smaller. You know, we didn't have any distance targets. It was a lot of hosing, a lot of just steel at 25 yards with a rifle. I'm like, you know, it was kind of boring when I shot it. I was like, this is not what I thought it would be. You know, it's not what you see when you look up 3-gun stages. So I told myself I was going to shoot some 3-gun this year, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I've actually got 2 that I'm probably going to hit. And I get the fact of, after talking to some of my buddies who are 3-gun guys, I mean, there's a lot of game in the game of USPSA, right? By that, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you got to remember and think about. And, but in 3-gun, I like to say it's 3 times more, but it's really like 6 times as much, because the elaborate stages that they put together and the distance of the running and you know, you have to be so much better with your stage planning. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. I'm going to get chastised with all my USPSA buddies saying that 3-gun's that interesting, but it is. At least we're not talking about IDPA, you know, could be worse.
Oh, I haven't shot it IDPA, I think for a while now, maybe 3 or 4 years, but now since they did the rule change, it's like USPSA, but you wear a vest. So
pretty much.
Yeah, they have fault lines, which is basically the same thing as ours. Like, you run to the edge of the fault line and you shoot targets and then you run. So, but the big difference is in USPSA, say there's like a 80-point stage. If you zero that, you can only lose 80 points. In IDPA, if you trash a stage, it's unlimited how much time you can add on. So, yeah.
It gets out of control really fast with IDPA.
Yeah, and then, like, each scoring point down is a second. So, I mean, it's basically steel challenge in the 0 zone, you know?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Someone said 3-gun make you go broke, Sarge.
Yeah, 3-gun. There's so much more. Like, when I pack for USPSA, I can pack, like, the morning of, have all my stuff ready and cleaned and ready to go, and be like, all right, let's go. For 3-gun, I'm like, okay, now instead of having one bag, I have my gear bag, a rifle case, and my, like, other bag, you know, all my mags, you know. It's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot, man. I think about, you know, how much stuff I travel with for USPSA, and I'm getting to the point now where I'm flying to a lot of the matches, so I condensed it all down to, like, bare necessities. So it can pretty much all fit in one bag. Besides my clothes and stuff. But then I think about 3-gun, and how do you fly for a 3-gun match? I mean, you're going to have all the luggage. You know what I mean? You got to haul all that crap around.
It takes 3 bags, so you can put your rifle and your shotgun in a rifle case. You know, you have to break your shotgun down unless you have, like, a coffin case, which is just, like, a massive case.
Yeah.
And I did that once. And, yeah, it was great. I could just take my range bag in and out and, like, close it up, like, not having to take my shotgun down or anything. But it was, like, a massive freaking bag you're carrying around. And, like, the rest of the guys had smaller rifle bags, and it's more nimble. So, like, getting onto buses and trains and, you know, just carrying it around, putting it in a rental car, like, so you can do it with less bags, but it's actually harder.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So your next big match coming up is, you know, in Talladega. It is, you know, the next USPSA Low Cap Nationals. Yeah. So I just booked my Airbnb this morning, or rebooked. I had an Airbnb lined out. The lady freaking canceled on me last minute, so I had to book another one. But it's on the lake, right? I thought about you when I was booking it because it's got a dock. I was like, oh, man, I wonder if Hetherington's going to be fishing while he's out here. Because
Yeah,
it
I mean,
seems like every match I go to and you're there, after the match or even in the middle of the match, like we'll finish the day of shooting. We got to come back the next day. And on your Instagram, you're like, found a fishing hole. I'm like, what's this guy doing?
yeah, I like to rip lips. I mean,
I like to rip lips, man.
yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, I literally was like, man, I wonder if do you carry around, like, do you travel with a traveling fishing pole?
yeah. It's telescoping and it collapses down to like, I don't know, 16 inches, and then extends to 6'6", and then I have like a little spinning reel, and like I keep like a very minimal tackle box, and then usually like if I fly to Oregon, I'll have like more of a trout setup, or if I'm down the south, it'll be like a lot of bass and lures for stuff like that. So
Well, dude, if you ever come down and shoot a match near me, right over here in Houston, we'll go do some. Do you like any saltwater fishing?
oh yeah, I do. I haven't been yet on my own boat because I have an 18-foot center console that I've been working on. I bought it as like a project boat, and I've been restoring it to safe condition. And
Safe condition,
yeah,
getting her waterworthy.
yeah, getting her ocean ready, and I'm gonna start catching some ocean fish. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Well, dude, if you ever come down here, dude, we'll go get on some redfish and some
Yeah,
and we'll have a good time, dude, because we got a hell of a lot of saltwater fishing out here. We'll go night fishing for some sharks. You
yep.
know, we do that a lot out here, especially in the surf when nobody's there. Because if we go shark fishing while people are there, they get all pissed off. But yeah, we'll go jerk some lips out of some water, man. We'll have a good time.
Yeah, sounds like a good
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
So
it's a lot of fun, man. So I got some questions here,
perfect.
and we're gonna open up with a funny one because I couldn't pass this one up. It's the second time someone's asked it, and I didn't say it the first time, and they kind of got on to me. So I'm
Hmm.
gonna ask it because I want to hear your answer, and this has nothing to do with shooting. So we're
Yeah.
going off the rails here. If you were to have to fight either one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses, which would you choose?
Definitely 100 duck-sized horses.
I feel like that's the smartest decision. A horse-sized duck, I think, could fuck me up like 100%.
Yeah, I think it would step on you and kick you and hit you with its wings, and it would hurt a lot. Whereas even if you were swarmed, these little horse hooves hitting you, like so
No, yeah, I'm fucking up 100 duck-sized horses. Like, there's nothing they can do about it. I'll probably eat a few of them, like in front of the other ones, just to assert dominance. You know what I mean?
yeah,
All right. So, second one is actually about shooting.
okay.
How did you develop your shooting style? Because your shooting style is, particularly unique. Your movement is, in my opinion, it's extremely fluid and purposeful. You don't really do anything like flashy or,
Mhm.
it's just like hit your marks to perfection, consistency. The way you hold the gun, the way your shoulders and everything. How'd you develop that style? Was that just like over time, or did you find out what works best for you specifically, or was it just something that like, hey, I picked the gun up and this just felt comfortable, I stuck with it?
Yeah, so growing up, a big idol of mine has always been Dave Savigny, and he always shoots very square, very low and wide stance, moving around. And then, yeah, I don't know. I think you just develop you figure out what works for you. Um, and because I've been to, like, I've had instruction from a bunch of people, especially when they were doing the MGM Junior Shooters Camp, like Phil Strader. I'm gonna miss people. Eddie Garcia, Max Michelle, like oh, I
All
don't
those guys,
know,
yeah, there's a lot of them.
tons of guys. And way back when Matt Burkett and a lot of Cody McKenna. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he's crushed some area matches and done very well at nationals. But he and Nils and Rob Latham a little bit with my mental game, and I don't know. all those guys, like all the pros together, merged together. My shooting style is what I got from all of them. So
Yeah, which is awesome. Which I know the person asking that was asking it because they're a newer shooter and they're trying to figure out their style. I know the guy, right? And I know he was hoping for probably some magical answer, which
yeah,
isn't the thing, right? It's just find what works for you. But
exactly. That's why
you,
they're shooting styles, is because there isn't one thing that works forever. Like, I don't know very many Americans that shoot like Eric Rafael does. You know, it's a shooting style. It works for him really well. And vice versa.
yeah, exactly. And you see a lot of that. You see a lot of different styles, and your style will change. Like my style last year is completely different from my style this year because
Yeah,
I've taken more instruction from different instructors. I've spent more time on the range. I've kind of played like I kind of sat down and tried to get cerebral about the whole thing and go, what works better for me, right? And kind of formed what is now my style, which will inevitably change, right? I'm still pretty new into this, so it'll inevitably change into something else over the course of time, right? But taking instruction from that many legends, dude, that's
yeah,
insane. Especially, like I've taken, Max Michelle, JJ, a couple of the other guys, Charlie Perez. I've taken some good instruction from some guys, but I have always wanted to take some instruction from Rob Latham, which I don't know if he even does it anymore. But
yeah,
if he does, Rob, if you still teach, man, hit a brother up. I'll pay for a class for sure.
yeah. Rob, which was what's cool about the stuff he's taught me is like during a match when we're on the same squad, I'm like, hey, I'm experiencing this, and he's just like, yeah, you should do that. Then it's like little short answers that I've had to, take what he said and try and,
Decipher it.
self, yeah, because Rob knows obviously everyone's different, so
Yeah, I definitely like to pick that. That's a guy I'd like to sit down with at dinner and pick his brain for sure. Him and a few other guys like Dave Savigny and Doug Koenig and all those guys. That'd be interesting. All right, so let's talk about let's move on a little bit to your season last year, right? You had a ton of success. Talk about like your mentality coming into nationals. Were you fully like coming in like this is mine, I'm getting it, like nobody else is on my level, or was it kind of like, hey, I've done exactly what I need to do up until this point, let's see what happens, like kind of, where was your head at? Because I mean, you had a very good season. I mean, you were winning a lot throughout the year, you were crushing people coming up to that match. I mean, kind of run us by what your thought process was leading into that.
yeah. So either 2018 or 2019, I think I won like 6 out of the 8 area matches I went to, and that was kind of like my mentality. Like, yep, like I got this. Like I've shot at least once against most people um, that are going to the match, and I've done well. So it was like going to nationals. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna go basically, and for those 2 years, if it was 2018, I didn't do very well. I struggled with, I don't know, shooting at my pace and like focusing too hard because there is like a trying too hard, And the last year, 2020, when I won, I showed up and I kind of had the mentality of like, yeah, like I'm okay with these guys beating me on the stages. And especially like that first day, I was doing all right. And then I shot there was like this standard stage. I lost like 40 points, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not, maybe like 30 points. But it was like, that's okay. Like I got 2 more days and everything. I just read a comment. I'm sorry, it distracted me. But everything is going to be okay. Um, and like, you just got to keep shooting. And I don't feel like I'm very cocky at all, but in my head, I'm super cocky. And I have no doubts in my head. Like, JJ throws down a burner stage and I see him shoot instead of being like, oh, like, like that's not good. Cause obviously, you know, maybe I'll get nervous about that, but JJ throws down a burner stage. I just did myself, yeah, I'm losing 10 points here. Like, I got to accept my abilities, you know. I just focused really hard, and having that mentality allowed me to not push and just shoot my speed. And, you know, the area matches before are like, you know, your speed's good, and, you know, you just got to be the best shooter you can and shoot your speed, basically. Not get all caught up in, I need to stay ahead and pull ahead and, you know, be winning the match for 3 days straight, because it's impossible.
A lot of people get caught up in that. A lot of people get caught up in that. And you find, so the more and more I talk to high level shooters, right, the more you find out the mentality of taking things day by day is always better, and taking it stage by stage is even better, right? Like I think the best nugget I ever got, right, on the range shooting a match was with JJ. I shot a bad stage, and he was like, short memory wins, bro. Forget about it. And I was like, what do you mean forget about it? He was like, it never happened. It's a new match right here. The next stage, like when you finish, right, you sign and dunk, right?
Yeah.
Take your time walking. Like, soon as you pack your stuff up and you walk out of that bay, that stage is done. It should be not even a memory. And I was like, huh. That's pretty good, because I was real bad about snowball, you know, like I think about, man, I just lost 17 or 20 points on this last stage. I can't afford to lose another 5 or 10 here. So I just watched a guy just lay down a run. Now I got to lay down a better run. And then next thing you know, I'm losing 10 or 15 points on that stage, and it snowballs. And I see so many people get caught into that. And the more I talk to guys like you and JJ and, like, you know, high level national and world champion guys, it's all about, well, you know, you can't change it, right? So why dwell on it? Try to just keep shooting at your level.
Mm-hmm. I usually give myself, because obviously if I shoot a Mike no shoot or whatever, that's a huge hit. And I don't know anyone that can just be like, oh, I shot a Mike no shoot. Like, that's okay. Like, but I try and give myself 5 minutes after that to just be as upset as possible, right? And in my head, I know, like, go through the snowball, all in my head. But, you know, once that 5 minutes are up, like, it's time to just focus on the next one. I think having that set limit, and John McClain, the guy with the fancy pants, he taught me that.
Yeah, I know who John McClain is.
Yeah. And it works really well for me. And same thing with a stage burner. Like, if I win the stage by 5%, you know, or 7%, it's the same thing. 5 minutes to, like, run that high, because it feels really good when you throw down stage like that. And then after that, it's like, all right, next stage. Like, your emotions are over. It's time to, you know, focus on the task at hand.
Yeah, it's real robotic when you see it, because I've seen it in a lot of guys, like you in particular. We've shot together where, like, I'll watch you shoot a stage and I'm like, holy shit, he just did that with a production gun. And you get done and you're like, as you're scoring it, you can tell in your head, you're like, fuck yeah, you know. And then literally 2 minutes later, you're just back to taping and pasting and just chilling, you know, not even acting like you just probably won the stage overall with a production gun. Yeah. And in my head, I'm like, I'd be doing backflips in the parking lot, like freaking out right now. You know what I mean? And that's another part of that winning mentality. Like, not only do you throw away the bad stuff, but when you do the good stuff, you can't let it affect how you shoot the next stage, because you can get a sense of over confidence.
Oh yes.
And maybe do something that would just take that right back.
Mm-hmm.
And I see a lot of people get caught up in that too.
2018 Nationals, the very first stage was a standard stage with some strong hand and weak hand shooting. And I think I was sitting like 10 points ahead. And then we went into the next stage. I think I was second at like 99%. So I still had that 10. The third stage, there was a lot of shooting on the move, which I'm all about shooting on the move. And I try and do it better than anyone else. That's like my thing. And I went to shoot on the move, smoked the no-shoot right there. Like, because I'm pushing, because, you know, I already got the lead, and then I'm about to do something that I'm really good at, so why not push a little and get massive amount of points instead of just shooting calm at my speed, And if I am better than people on that stage, I'll get my points anyway. But I got greedy, and then no shoot, and then whirlwind that I didn't come back out of. So
yeah, man, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. That's something that I heard from an old farmer one time.
Yeah.
Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. You take your wins when you can get them, but if you get greedy and you're like, okay, I've made up, I just made 10 points on this stage, but I'm really good at this and we're doing this on the next stage. If I just push a little bit here instead of just doing what I can do, I can pick up 20 points instead of the normal 10 I would get, and then I'd have a really big cushion, and then it just, bam, eventually the wheels fall off. You push. Unless you're, even the best shooters in the world, right? Their wheels always fall off at some point. You see it every time.
Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of perfect matches out there where I'm like, yep, I wouldn't have done anything different. I'm happy with all those stages for the rest of my life. So
yeah, that's the competitor in you, man. True competitors are never happy with their performance. Like,
no.
Talk to any world champion of anything. Like talk to Tom Brady about all his Super Bowl wins, right? I'm sure at some point he's got something wrong with some of them, or probably all of them. Probably once every series he's got something he's not happy about, right? Out of all of his Super Bowl performances, that's just the winning mentality of a champion. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. You're always striving for perfection, but you never obtain it because nobody's perfect, right?
Yeah. You burn out on a stage, win it by 10%, but when you walk off, you're like, I shot a Delta, or like I shot a Charlie on a 7-yard target. That's like free alpha in production. Like, you have to shoot in production. And if there's an open target and you shoot Alpha Charlie, it's like, dude, what are you doing? So.
Dude, it's the minor power factor is crazy. Like, a Delta at y'all's level is basically a mic, right?
Yeah, it's 1 point. So
yeah, it's useless. It's 1 point, right?
Better than a mic, though. That's right.
It is better than a mic. It is better than a mic, but it's a big detriment. Whereas, like, if we hit a Delta, it's not as big of a deal, but, open guys, right? If we hit a Charlie, it's like, if you hear an open guy shoot all alphas, right, most people go, oh, it must have been slow. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It must have been slow. Must have been a shitty run, right? Time must be horrible. But you look at guys in production, like, I shot open nats with Nils shooting limited with his Canic, and I was blown away at how upset he got about runs with like 4 Charlies.
Yeah.
Right? I would get done shooting a stage and it'd be like 6 Charlies and a Delta, or something like that. And I'm like all pumped, right? I'm like, Delta sucks, but the rest of it was pretty good. And I watch him shoot it and he shoots like 4 Charlies and I'm like, dude, that was blazing. And he's like, not good enough. Too many Charlies. You shot 4. It was a 32-round stage. You shot 4 Charlies. What are you bitching about? And he's like, it's not good enough. Not good enough to win.
8 points down.
Yeah, dude. I was like, chill out, bro.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's nuts. Which is cool because it adds another level, right? It's another level to the game where, in open you kind of go, is it worth it to hard press 2 alphas here, shooting at 20 yards on the move, or take your Charlie and run, right? Whereas in production, it's like, it's never worth it to shoot a Charlie or a Delta for the most part. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very rare. But there are
very
instances when, like, like, I'm happy with 2 in the paper, depending on how hard
Yeah, like some of those nationals, that long one in the back, right? In the very back of the range.
Like, that one was like, happy with Charlie's for sure, but still not happy with the Delta on that stage because it's
for sure.
Yeah.
Me, I was like, 2 on paper, I'm golden.
3 guns. See what I mean? 3 guns.
I'm telling you, man. And so that was the next question I wanted to get to, because I had someone say, any interest in shooting open, because like you said, shooting on the move is your jam, and you do it so good with a production gun. Have you ever thought about picking up the open blaster and having fun with it?
I've shot him a couple times, and I get the like speed and everything, but I've never been like, yeah, you know what, I want to switch to open. and it's just like big and loud, and you know, some people have gun issues. Obviously, I try to get those alleviated, but it's like, dude, my production gun, I can pick up the mag and be like, while practicing, pick up the mag and be like, oh wow, there's a bunch of dirt in there, shove it in there, and
Yeah.
don't have to worry about it not working.
You did that to me at, I think it was Double Tap. It was raining real hard. It was really muddy and shitty. And I was over there cleaning my 2011 mags. And you literally like walked off the stage and like your mags were all shitty and muddy. And you were like, hey, check this out. Dunk, dunk, knocked them off and just started stuffing bullets in them. I was like, you suck.
Yeah. And then what's also good is if you find a mud puddle, you just take your mag and you just shake it in the mud puddle. And it cleans, you know.
Oh my God. That's my nightmare with an open gun mag. Oh.
The only production malfunctions I have every now and then are light strikes. And it's usually due to like, you know, it being 5,000 rounds dirty, or, you know, the hammer springs wore out because springs wear out. So.
Yeah. At Area 7 last year, the first stage of the day was a standard stage, and the Area 7 range is like super like moon dust, right? It's just, it's horrible. You step on it, it's like floats.
Yeah.
And I freaking biffed a reload on the last array. It was 4 reloads in the stage. On the last reload, I'm not used to reloading open, you know what I mean? So I'm coming from the back pouch, which I hardly ever practiced at the point, coming from the back pouch. So now I'm pretty good at coming from the back pouch after this happened, but I biffed the reload. It hit that moon dust, and then I go to reach, and I realize it's my last mag. So I grabbed it out of the dirt and just shoved it in. And as I shove it in, I'm shooting with Adam, right, the owner of Atlas Gunworks. We're there for that match. It's an Atlas match. And I hear him go, oh, fuck, no. I'm shoving this moon dust mag into one of his guns, and I'm just like, duh, 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 duh. And when I get done, he's like, I can't believe you just shoved 10 pounds of dirt into that gun. He's like, go clean it. I'm like, all right.
I would go. Some of the area matches and nationals they have those like that companies leave their like cleaning products on there. I go find something that's like aerosol, like scrub away the dirt or whatever, and just go crazy on it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's literally what I did. I had a big can of gun scrub. I was like, figure it out. But all right, so I have a question. So guys with your pedigree, right? We'll call it pedigree. Your winning ways, right? Because, I mean, the only guys that I can really think of out of the AMU that have won as much as you is like, you know, Max, Casey, Shane, Daniel Horner. I mean, and every single one of them, when they left the AMU, you know the question coming, skyrocketed into a position of awesomeness with making it a career outside of the AMU, right? And I know you just re-enlisted. I don't know how you're super young, right? You're 24. Yeah. You could, I mean, I don't know if your aspiration is to be there for another 20 years or if it's like, you know, till you're, you know, mid-20s, late 20s, early 30s, and then exit out, right? But is that something that you have kind of aspirations for, is like AMU right now, right? Keep killing it, eventually make this into like a career, right? Or I guess not a career because it is your career, but another trajectory of a career.
Yeah. Instead of working for the government, work for someone else, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that could be a potential step for sure. I don't know when, but
yeah.
You know, if it ever
definitely interesting.
I could see that. I've also thought about not going into the shooting community though as well. And like there's like I daydream, I think sometimes, like moving to the ocean and working some ocean job because I love the ocean, and then other like complete opposite, like move up to the Northwest and, you know, go work out in the big sky country out there where it's all beautiful. But, you know, I'm married and I have a wife, and she and her and we all have to, you know, both of us have to make our decisions, you know, as a team. So
yeah, for sure. Just go be a professional fisherman, man. Get on that bass tour, dog.
Yeah, yeah.
Telling you, bro. Telling you.
That would be cool, but I am way too behind for that. So
Yeah,
those guys,
for sure, man.
Ever they've, it's just like I know shooting ranges, they know lakes. So
Yeah, it's nuts the amount of knowledge those guys have, right?
yeah.
It's absolutely nuts. I did a benefit fishing tournament when I was in the oil field for Baker Hughes. We did a benefit fishing tournament, and I got to fish with a pro, and he was like not a big name pro either, just like a regular pro. And that guy forgot more about fishing that lake than I venture to say most people even realize. Like, he knew every single detail, like down to where they would be at what time of the day, depending on what version of what weather. I was just like, what in the? He was like, oh, it rained a little bit last night, so they're going to be pushing out to here. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What are you, a fucking fish whisperer? Like, how do you know all this information? It was nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, it's nuts. So you just re-up for the next 2 years, right? So it kind of sounds like you're thinking about making the exit towards 3-gun. I mean, is that, maybe you win another national title in production and then, exit off and into the sunset, into the 3-gun world and go destroy those guys for a little bit? Is that something you kind of have in mind, or is that something you kind of?
I'd love to do that, but there's, I have a job, and if USPSA is needed to be won, I will shoot that and just keep shooting 3-gun in the little, the time I have off, because there's usually big breaks between nationals and some other matches, and I'll trade area matches in for Wyoming 3-gun and stuff like that.
So is that how it works? Is like your job is not only, right, like shooting for the AMU, but you're in a specific, like you're the USPSA production AMU shooter, rather than they have like, okay, your whole job is 3-gun and then your job is, so there's like whole different divisions of it too.
Right. Yeah. So I got hired into the AMU to shoot USPSA production, and at the time the colonel wanted us to shoot IDPA, so I shot SSP and IDPA. And a lot of the guys on the team, like John Browning, he shoots limited. Dexter Bradley, he shoots open. Tyler Payne, he shoots the hunter matches and PRS. And Joel shoots open 3-gun. We have our jobs and our traits, but then every now and then there's some guys on the team, and it's up to the bosses if they have the capacity, because we're not really going to send someone who kind of struggles at their job right now to go struggle at another job. But sometimes
Well, you're definitely not struggling at your job, I'll tell you that.
Sometimes they have like team matches where the whole team will go regardless. But besides that, like Tyler Payne, he's very competent. He's won the PRS bolt gun finale, gas gun, and a 3-gun nationals title all in 1 year. So like he's one of the guys that is like super versatile. So
holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts. So
I don't remember what year it was. It was a couple of years ago, but he's done it. Yeah.
That's freaking impressive. So I've dabbled in some PRS here and there. It's just, that's a totally different animal, dude. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's really cool, but it is a totally different animal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Some of the positions I was having to shoot out of, I was like, this was not at all what I thought it would be. Right.
Yeah.
And you see people do it and you're like, that doesn't look hard. And then you get in that position and you're like, this sucks.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to switch gears a little bit, because I know, obviously, your time is valuable. We're going to move on to something I like to do, right, with everybody on here, and everybody has participated, so you have to participate. All right. This is going to be your picks to win every national that's shot this year, every division. And obviously, production, you're allowed to say yourself because you're the reigning, defending shooter, right? You're the champ. You're the champ. So you can say, when we get to production, you can be like, this guy, right? So I just had Christian on. He did that for him. But we'll start with, and you're pretty well versed in who's shooting what division. So you're a pretty big student of the sport. All right, so let's start with limited 10 nationals. Keep in mind, this guy is shooting it.
Okay.
You don't have to say me. It's fine.
So we have Casey Reed, we got Gorka, we got Blake Maguez. I think Christian's shooting it. Those are the first four that come to mind.
You're only allowed to pick one.
I don't think Christian is shot against Casey yet. And Casey won it 1 year with a minor gun. So
did he really?
He did. So I think I've got to go with Casey Reed. All right.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. I've only shot with Casey like once or twice, but he is a freak, man. I shot limited with him, or he was shooting limited. I was shooting open, but he is a freak, man. He's a damn good shooter. So that's a solid pick. That's a solid pick. I'm saying myself,
obviously.
Obviously.
Don't
but
say yourself. How do you expect to win?
Yeah, exactly. But if not me, after seeing Christian's Area 6 performance, it's hard not to. But then it's a different game than limited, right? It's limited 10 that leaves, different types of stage planning, different aspects of the shooting style that he's not used to, right? Because training limited and training limited 10 are two totally different things. Dude, Blake Maguez is he's hard. When he's on, dude, he is hard to beat.
Yeah. Yes.
He's hard to beat. And I don't know if he's training, so I'm not going to pick Blake, but I'm going to say Christian, if not myself, only because it's the safe play. And part of me wants to, if Shane Coley was shooting limited 10, I would pick Shane, but he's not. He's shooting production, I think, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, he was quad, so.
Yeah, I think so. Poor Shane, man. When you toast everyone at that match, it's going to be heartbreaking. So let's go on to single stack.
I can't remember. I looked earlier. I'm sure Rob Latham's shooting it. Elias Frangoulis. There's
Tim Herron.
Do you know anyone else that's shooting it?
Or I think Rob Epifina. No, Rob Epifina's shooting production. I don't know. I think those are the big ones that come to mind.
Yeah. Let's skip, and I'll try and look it up real quick to see who's actually shooting. I want to give a real good guess.
Yeah, that's solid. That's a solid pick. I'll wait for you to make your pick before I make mine. Let's go on to production. You, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of good shooters. JJ, Nils, Shane, Sal Luna. I mean, Mason, obviously.
Sal Luna, I don't think I've ever heard of him.
You never heard of Sal's won some stuff, that's for sure.
No. You got to remember, man, I'm only 3 years into this game, bro.
Oh, yeah?
I'm still pretty new. Yeah, I started in mid to late 2018, so I'm still fairly fresh. I'm learning more, but guys like, OGs and shit, I know a lot of them, but Sal Luna, if you're watching this or listening to it, send me a DM so I know who the hell you are.
Yeah,
I'll look. I'm gonna go. Yeah, see, everybody's saying Sal's a stud. Yeah, I gotta go look up. I probably am following Sal Luna, to be honest. I know everyone from their Instagram names, so we'll figure. Unless I know you, that's kind of how I go. But yeah, I'm gonna carry my pick over from last year. It's gonna be you. I've actually already sealed this into a $20 bet with a buddy. So same buddy I bet with last year. $20, man. $20. He wasn't as confident when he wanted to bet this year as he was last year. You know, he was super confident last year, but he backed out. This year, I was like, come on, man, $20. He was like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, oh, you know.
Obviously.
Huh?
He was still betting against me, though?
Reluctantly. Yeah. It was a close, like, I had to kind of talk him into it. And we didn't shake on it. He'll probably back out of it. But yeah, you're the pick. I'm excited to see it. I'll be there. I'm shooting limited 10, so I'm gonna get. So whenever you win, right? Whenever you go up and do your acceptance speech, right? You're gonna have to, you know, thank you to the AMU and thank you to my wife and, you know, everybody and Bangin Brass, we did it. You know, you just do that. Yeah, I'd be super excited.
Yeah. Maybe as I exit. Bangin Brass, we did it.
Yeah, like as you exit, like Bangin Brass, we did it, and just drop the mic, like do a mic drop. Boom, make Foley pick it up.
Nah.
Somebody said the athletic giraffe. Yeah. Nils, the athletic giraffe. That's my nickname for him. Nils is a good shooter.
Nils is a very good shooter, and he's super smart too.
Super intelligent. I got a whole lot. Like, I would love to take a class from Nils. I don't know if he teaches classes or not, but shooting with him for a full nationals, 3 days of like getting to watch him work and like talking with him because it was kind of cool because, you know, we were talking about how to break stages down and he was helping me out on the open side, probably 900% more than I was helping him out on the limited side. But dude, he is so cerebral when he shoots. He's a beast for sure. And I don't know how he moves that giant of a frame around as elegantly as he does, but it's impressive.
He takes probably 15 less steps than everyone else throughout the whole nationals, probably.
Oh, easily, man. He covers so much ground. When we were walking the stage, I was like, he was like, well, I'm going to blend X position into this position, and I'm just going to kind of slide step in. I was like, you realize that's a 10-foot gap, right? Like, you realize that's like 3 of my steps? He was like, so you're going to have to take 2 steps. I was like, no, I'm going to have to take 3. I was like, you're just 19 feet tall. So that's how that's working. He's a beast. But did you find out the single stack yet?
Yeah, I forgot my password a couple times, but I got it.
Do y'all still book all your stuff, or does somebody at the AMU book all y'all's stuff?
We plan all of our own trips, but there's it just obviously, here we go. We got John McClain, Rob Latham, Todd Jarrett, Jeremy Reed, Elias Frangulis, Mike Seeklander, Paul Kerr, Tim Herron, and John Vliger are all on the single stack super squad.
That's a lot of heat.
Yeah, it's
a lot of older heat too. That's a lot of old school heat too. Those guys are tricky. They're sneaky.
Have the stages come out yet?
I should know. I don't know. I really never look at the stages going in. I look at them briefly just to know if I should practice something that I haven't before, but I don't really like look at them too hard. I look for weird shit, and then I just kind of erase it from my memory and look at it once I get there.
I'm going to go with...
You're about to lose some friends. Ooh.
I'll go with Elias, I think. I think Elias can bring it, especially if, he just shoots. The way Elias does, very kind of slower, but no mistakes. So.
Yeah, he's a world champ, man. You can never count that guy out. He's a monster. I'm going with Timmy Herron just because he's a buddy, and I know. Rob Latham won last year, and Elias Frangulis is a world champ. But Tim Herron, at Area 2, he beat Latham, right? Which I know in his mind gave him the confidence that he was missing, right? Because Tim's a good shooter, but I think he always doubted himself. Like, am I really one of these guys? Because I haven't really beat the best, right? The absolute best, which would be the champ, right? He beat the champ right after nationals, right? So I think he's coming through this season, and it was not very long ago, November. I think he's riding a high coming in, probably training really hard, getting pretty prepared. I think Tim Herron has a shot, man, unless I'm just completely off the rails.
No, he definitely does. Mike Seeklander's also up there too.
The silverback gorilla.
Yeah. I think he holds his pistol tighter than anyone else, honestly.
That guy, I met him at SHOT Show.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh, that is a silverback gorilla if I've ever seen it. That guy grabbed my hand.
Yeah.
What probably was gentle to him, I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. He is
Yeah.
a freak, man. That guy, he could probably fold some steel. He could probably, like, you know how people fold the frying pans like this? He could probably just
Yeah.
grab it and just go and throw it. Just nuts. I've got big mitts, right? And they're strong. Like, I had years in the oil field turning wrenches, right? I mean, these puppies, I power lifted for years. These puppies are strong. But that man grabbed my hand. I was like, "Ooh, shit. This is
Yeah.
a different level of strength here." Whew. Hate to see him on a gripometer. Hate to see him get mad and grab you by the throat. You'd be like, just totally helpless.
Yeah.
All
Rob
right,
Vogel
so
has a grip sting. Just to throw that in there real quick.
Vogel? Oh, yeah. Dude, he's one of the few people I've seen shoot like a stock Glock, and it looks like an open gun when it moves.
Yeah. Yep. All right, next division.
Let's go with what's next? PCC.
Ah, man. Okay, there's something I don't pay too much attention to is PCC.
Leah Grandis. I'm just gonna say Leah Grandis.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. There's more and more people putting as much time as he does into it.
There is.
The start of PCC, like, no, I don't think anyone committed as fully as he did. And so now he's, like, riding on top. But, you know, eventually I feel like he's going to get some more competition. But, so, and I don't know who yet. But Max Leogrand is probably.
Well, Freilic's been close every year. You know, he's been pretty close to him.
Yeah. Joseph Tyler says.
Yeah. Hey, Matt Hopkins wants to know if you do any mental training.
Do I do any mental training? We, as in like for people or for myself, like getting
for
trained by other.
Yourself, I imagine.
Okay. I talked to Daniel Horner and other great shooters, and they give me their tips and tricks. And then we did in the unit paid for a guy to come, and we did like registered classes and stuff. But I didn't get much from him. And yeah, so
just a beast, just naturally a beast, dog.
Eric Raffel actually was a big pivotal. He said one sentence to me, and because Eric Raffel isn't the most talkative when you're like a 17-year-old kid. Like, hey Eric, I'm Jacob. How do you win?
Yeah, right.
Well, I guess 2 sentences. He said, it's a game, and whenever I see an opportunity to push, I'm going to take it and use what I'm good at and what other people are bad at to win. And that was like the first time I started thinking about like, oh, there's actually like some hardcore strategy in USPSA. Because like, for example, last year there was a stage, and just the way our last names are and we rotated, I ended up like last or second to last. I think it was second to last. So I got to watch everybody shoot, and everyone kind of shot the less risked way. There's less risk, but it's not as fast, right? So now I know if I shoot the risky way, even if I mess it up some, I'll be about even. But if I connect, I'm gonna get leaps. Like, and Eric Raffel was like the one that kind of got me into the strategy thing. Like, if you go first, the only thing you can do really strategy wise is to put a burner run down, and close the door hopefully to someone mentally. Yeah. But like, if you go first and you shoot like okay, well, first everyone knows your stage plan. They can exploit it. They get to see like what your time is to the stage plan, and say someone else shoots the stage plan, like that's different. Well, now they have their time and your time and 2 different stage plans. So the further back you are in the shooting order, you know, you can get a lot of strategy out of that. And like the same thing with these area matches, like if someone shoots ahead of you and you have all their scores, when you walk up to the stage, you pull out the scores and you're like, oh, they shot a mic and a no-shoot on the stage. You're like, okay, I don't have to put a burner run to get points. Like, I'm getting easy points right here, you know? And if you're shooting really good that day, then you can, you know, throw down and push a little, and now you're getting even more points. And if you mess it up, you might end up being even with the guy.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, there's a lot of strategy to this game.
There's strategy, luck, and timing, and all three of them have to go together, I think, to really exploit strategy. So.
You see a space where you can do one of those sweet ass double reloads.
And then he also said Eric Rafael wants to train so hard and so fast that when he goes to a match, when he is pushing ahead of everyone else, it's not actually pushing for him. He wants it to be like when you get in your car and turn it on, you don't think like grasp the key in between my pointer finger and my thumb. Push it into the hole and twist it, you know. You just think, oh, turn the car on, and you turn it on. That's what he wants, shooting faster than everyone to be like, which makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Gives you so you ever look for a chance to do one of those sweet ass double reloads that you're famous for?
Yeah, I do. But
dude, first time I ever saw you do that in person, I missed it. Like, I watched you do it, right? I physically were there. I physically watched you do it. And until someone said he just did 2 reloads, I was like, what? And I looked down and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Mm-hmm. And then I think I even asked like John, I was like, hey, can I see that video? And I was like, what in the hell am I watching? It was so, you were just like, it looked like you almost, it almost looked like you purposefully like grabbed a mag, just like brought it up here, dropped it, and then grabbed another one. That's how like it was just like, I was like, what in the fuck did I just watch this wizardry happen? Yeah. And then I got home and I was like, can I do that? No, can't do it. Tried to do it. I could do it, but it's not as smooth and as fast.
People have done it in single stack quite often, and it's not like this like super brand new thing, but the first time I did it was at Double Tap Championships, and I knew I had a lead, and I think it was the last stage, and it was 22 rounds, 11 on one side and 11 on the other. It was like a 2 1/4 position stage. Like, they made it legal by like adding a couple steps, you know, but you could see 11 rounds from one spot and 11 rounds from the other. And it was like 4 targets, a mini popper, and like a V-wall barrel swinger. So the barrels are like this and the swinger goes like that. Yeah. And so like I have to go 1 for 1 on the popper and I have to go 1 for 1 on the swinger, like 2 shots. No, and then do a double load and do it on the other side. So that was the first time I did it. And then it was the John Wick double tap, right? I'm not sure. I've done it twice at double tap because like the match director just sets it up perfectly. 22 rounds, 11 on one side, 11 on the other. And then so I've done it at double tap twice and area 7. I think. But it was nuts. I remember the first time I saw it was at double tap. I was like, yeah. Pause. Take a second. Pause this. Can I hit stop or rewind? Now let's watch it in slow-mo. It was pretty nuts. And then you posted it and people were like, what the hell are we watching? Yeah. Right? It was pretty cool. That video got tens of thousands of views compared to my usually I get 1,000 to 3,000 per video that I post, and that one had tens. So. Oh yeah, that one went off. All right, let's get back on track to the divisions, right? Yeah. All right, let's go carry optics. You think anyone's going to dethrone the champ? Carry optics is in October, right? Yeah. Okay. So Max Michel obviously is the guy that's probably most likely because he's won it every single time since it was created. But then you've got Kim, who works super hard, has all of his video and everything. I think he's got a lot of resources. Then you also have Mason, who is going to have a lot. I think every time he's shot it, he hasn't had a lot of training, but I think he's going to have a lot of time before then to shoot it. If he shoots, I don't know if he's going to shoot limited or carry optics, or if he can shoot both.
He can shoot both because limited and open are on the same schedule, and then carry optics and carry optics and something else.
Yeah. Well, I feel like if Mason has time to prepare, he'll be really close. And then I'm sure there's other great carry optics shooters, but it's kind of like a division like PCC. It's new. So, yeah, I think that one's hard.
It's very hard.
You should go first on this one.
On the carry optics?
Yeah.
It's the safe bet, man, but I just shot Dragon's Cup with Max Michelle there and got to watch him work, and he hasn't lost one single step. I'm going to say Max Michelle, if someone takes it from him, dude, they're going to have to. He's going down kicking and screaming because that dude has got ice water in his veins, and he can just flip a switch. Because I remember first day of Carry Optics Nationals, he was down 6 or 7% or something like that. And I talked to him after it. I was like, how'd it go? He's like, it went really bad, but it's okay. I'm going to turn it up tomorrow and the next day, and I'll be right back where I need to be. And literally just turned a switch. Second day, up by 3%. Third day, won the match. Took a picture with it before he left, before the match was even over. He was just like, yeah, I'm the fucking champ. Here we go. Take a picture. I got to catch a flight. Boom. He took a picture with the trophy and knew he won before anyone finished.
Oh, I think we're back. Yeah. I got to go with Max too, but I think he's going to feel a lot more pressure this year.
Yeah, Jay Beal, man. If you don't know who Jay Beal is, Jay Beal is coming up pretty quick. He's a damn good shooter. Dry fire is like a madman.
Yeah. Good old dry fire.
Yeah, all the dry fire. All right, let's go into limited.
Limited, John Browning.
Yeah, got to, man. Got to.
His year this year.
Dude, God, man, I felt so bad for him last year. I congratulated him. Yeah. Literally.
I came up to him.
Dude, yeah, well, we thought he was first, right?
Yeah.
I think match ends, right? I'm literally look at the results. Not everybody's finished shooting yet. I guess Mason hadn't finished shooting yet. It looked like John won. I was like, fucking congratulations, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Gave him a dap up. You did it, fucking champ. And then next thing you know, it's oh, what? Yeah. Mason Lane, Yeah, John's due, man. John's definitely due. Mm-hmm. He's due.
I work with him every day, so obviously I'm a little bit biased, but I see the amount of work and effort he puts in, and he's due. I think he's going to win this year.
Yeah, he's definitely due, man. Man, that's a hard one for me, man, because I got a lot of friends in that division. I got a lot of friends in that division.
Friends, but it's a educated, speculative guess. So.
Yeah. Well, you're way more educated on John's ability than I am because you literally train with him every day. But, yeah, man, after seeing how John performed last year and then Area 6, he did good at Area 6. I mean, God, that's hard to say John's not going to win, My pick, just because I love this dude, and my heart wants to say Gianni Giordano, but he's super young. He's still really young. He's a beast, right? And then so fast. He's so fast. But I mean, he has a little bit of he's you right. He's young. When he figures out how to control that, right, and bring it to consistency with the speed, he's going to be dangerous. But and then part of me wants to say Shane because I see how Shane's working. I've talked to him a lot. You know, he's putting in the work, but damn, dude. Mason Lane he's so good. I don't know. This is a hard one for me, man.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, all those shooters are like, you know, top of the line. Like any day, any of them could win it. It's just at, you know, in October or whatever it is, who's going to win it. Like, that's how it is with all of them, or most of them, I think. It's like, especially production. Like, it's so stacked. It could be any one of us any day.
Yeah, it could. My heart pick says Gianni, just because he's my boy, you know. But my brain pick, after seeing how well John did and how well Shane did, it's got to be between those two, man. I think it's going to be John and Shane battling it out. I think Mason winning was one. He wasn't on the super squad, right, which is a huge advantage if you can compete at that level, right? It's a disadvantage if you're not as good as everybody on the super squad, but if you're as good as those guys, not shooting with them is a huge advantage. I think if he shoots on the super squad, I think John and Shane put the pressure on him enough to where he'll crack. So I'm gonna go stuck between those two, man. I don't know which one to take.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. All right. So what do we have left? We got open left. I'm an open shooter right here, baby. Here we go. What's up, man? Say me. You're on my show. Say me, damn it. I'm just kidding. Don't do it.
I want to say, you know, guys from my team. I think Aaron Edens will be on the team by then, and obviously
monster.
Another
monster.
Might need another year or two. I think I gotta go with Casey Eusebio.
That's awesome. That's an awesome pick. Tater, that is I listen, man. My boy Tater Tot said that he wants to win open.
Do it.
Yeah, do it. That's all. I mean, you got to go through me to do it. And you know, my dot ain't breaking at nationals, baby. You know, Tate just got me at Dragons Cup. So he's got the bragging rights right now. You know, I won't make excuses. I didn't check my equipment. My bad. But you know, when that thing was working, daddy, I was on Casey Eusebio's heels, baby. I was like, come here, Casey. No, but yeah, dude, nobody said Casey Eusebio so far. That's a super awesome pick. And I just watched him shoot Dragons Cup. He's looking good, man. He's looking good. Coming off another world speed shoot. It's getting boring at this point how many world speed shooting championships he wins. He's been third, what, two years in a row?
I don't know. I used to follow the skill challenge a little bit closer, but it's been 8 years, I think, since I shot it. So
yeah. Casey Eusebio is a good bet. He's so fast. He's so consistent. In my opinion, he's the fastest guy. Like, I think open shooters, and you think speed, Casey is faster than anyone. He's so fast.
I agree. And then, like, if you skill challenge, like, his makeups are like the same speed, or maybe, you know, 300s, 400s as his regular transitions to plates. He realizes he breaks a bad shot and corrects for it and shoots like faster than any other person I've ever met.
It's nuts watching him shoot skill challenge. His makeup shots, even in just USPSA, are nuts. Like,
yes.
It almost seems purposeful. It's like, I'm going to take 2 shots at this. It's crazy.
Like, geez, Casey, you shot like 5 extras, but you still have the fastest raw time.
Dude, yeah. I shot, what was it? What match was it? Double tap last year. He shot, and I shot. And I felt like I had, you know, a decent match, and crushed me. I was like, oh. And then one stage, I shot it, and I was like, there's no way anyone's touching that time. Like,
yeah,
that was, you know, when you have that stage where you're like, there's not a person alive that's going to touch that. He beat it by a second and a half. I was like, oh my God, I even went back. I went back after the match and like walked the stage. I was like, where the fuck did he find a second and a half here? Where?
It's not at that point. It's not a spot. It's 35 little things.
Yep, and that's what it was. He sent me the video because I asked him. I was like, hey, will you send me the video of the stage? I want to see how you did what you just did. Send it to me. I overlaid it on mine, and it was like he exited just a hair faster than I did. He entered just a hair faster than I did. His splits on the distance targets were just a tiny bit faster, and then he blended one position just a X amount better, and it translated to a second and a half over the course of 32 rounds. I was like, oh, you bastard. He got ahead of me and then just stayed there and then got a little bit more and then a little bit more and then a little bit more. I was like, what is going on? I watched it like 900 times until eventually I deleted it because I was so frustrated.
Yeah. Well, you probably learned a bunch from it too. So.
Oh, yeah. I learned a shit ton. Anytime I shoot against a guy like that, I always record their stages so I can overlay them over mine and see what they did different. Even if I beat him, even if I'm shooting against a good guy and I beat him, I still look at the stages because I didn't beat him the whole match. You know, he beat me on some stages, and then I might have beat him on a stage, but he might have done something better, right? That he just didn't connect on or didn't capitalize on, or maybe he shot a mic or two, you know, stuff like that. But KC Eusebio, man, that's a hell of a choice. Damn, I didn't even think about that one. Not that I didn't think about it, but everybody's so caught up in the JJ Christian deal, right?
Yeah.
What's going to happen there? Damn. I'm going to say open me, of course.
No, yeah, obviously.
I'm coming for the W, but I think the top three, again, is going to be Christian, JJ, Casey. If Eric Graffel comes, he's winning. Eric Graffel during World Shoot years has predominantly came to the U.S. for nationals, and if he comes and shoots open, which I think he might, I think he's going to put it on him.
What if he shoots carry optics?
Ooh, I don't know. I think anyone having a chance to beat Graffel, I think Max has the best chance. I think Max has the best chance of beating him heads up in carry optics.
Yeah.
Than Christian beating him in open, for sure. Yeah, I think Max has a better chance of beating him, which is a dangerous idea. But yeah. And then Aaron Edens, you can't forget about Aaron Edens. I mean, me and Aaron, I met Aaron.
He gets to the unit in July, so he's going to have unit resources for till October. And then
July, August, September, October.
Yeah, he also has had a 21-week break or whatever, or 22, I think, is what basic training and AIT is for him. So.
Yeah, because you can't practice during basic.
No, it's working all day, every day, except for Sunday. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. I tried to hit him up the other day. I couldn't get a hold of him. He's at basic right now.
You don't really get phones or anything like that, so.
Yeah, I was wondering what the hell was happening because I hit him up like, hey, it was for Area 3 because for Area 3 I'm gonna do a big, like, I'm gonna try to orchestrate all the dudes who are shooting Area 3 that are legit to get them all in one room and do a giant live, right? Like a giant Area 3 episode of like all of us degenerates in a room, all of us talking shit. I think it'll be amazing. So I was trying to get a hold of him. I was like, yo, bro, you down? He's like, oh, I guess that's a big fuck no. But that makes sense. He's in basic right now. I'm an idiot. But 3 months of AMU resources is a lot. How many rounds do y'all get to practice a month?
I mean, it changes per guy. So out of the USPSA guys, I shoot the least. And I'll shoot 4 to 6K a month.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's legit. That's a lot. I shoot a lot of rounds too. I realize how much that is. That's a lot. That's a lot of rounds. Just banging it out. What'd you say?
There's people that shoot more than me.
What's the most high volume guy you got? How many is he shooting?
Um, it's probably Dexter right now, Dexter Bradley. Um, and it obviously depends on the month, but I would say average he's at, I don't know, 15K.
Oh my God. Whoa.
Yeah, it's awesome,
Holy
dude.
shit.
That's the
All
whole
the
reason.
dudes.
It's the whole reason for the Max Michels, the Daniel Horners, all of the greats.
Oh, I just got a little moist. I'm not gonna lie to you with the idea of having 15,000 rounds a month at my disposal. Oh my God. All the guys in here that are struggling for primers just shit a brick. They were just like, oh! That's incredible.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Oh man, that's incredible. Well, Aaron Edens is going to be dangerous for sure, but coming out of basic, that's a long break. He may be able to recover it by then, but I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, last but not least, before I let you go, because I know we've been going for an hour and a half, and you're a busy man. You got a wife like me.
Yeah.
We're gonna do your Mount Rushmore shooting. Give me your Mount Rushmore of shooting.
My Mount Rushmore. What is that?
Like, you know, Mount Rushmore, like it'd be your four godfathers.
Daniel Horner, Dave Savigny, Max Michel, Eric Raffel.
That's a solid one.
That's four.
That's a solid one.
That's four.
I like
right?
that one. Yeah, that's four. Yeah, that's four. That's a solid one, man. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. One day, man, I'm going to ask somebody that question, and they're going to be like, Jacob Hetherington, Max Michel. I'm telling you, bro, you'll get it. You'll get it. But perfect, man. Well, obviously, I'm going to see you in like a week and a half, so I'm pretty excited. But good luck. You know, I'm pulling for you. You're my pick again. So do me proud, bro. Win me some money.
Do my best. Get you that $20.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. All right, brother. Well, man, it's been fun. It's been real. I appreciate you. Thank you again to you, Sgt Jacob Hetherington, multi-time area national, soon-to-be world champ. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on. And this has been a good one for me. I've enjoyed the hell out of this.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, brother. You have a good night.
Yep, you too. Bye.
All right. Thank you to Jacob. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, so the whole Area 3 thing, I'm going to make that happen. So Area 3, I'm going to get all these degenerates in a room, as many as I possibly can, and we're going to do a giant Area 3 Bangin Brass podcast episode. It is going to be rowdy. It's going to be nuts. I don't know if it's a good idea or a bad idea. We'll find out when it happens, but we're just going to go with the flow. But thank you to Jacob for being on. Thank you to the AMU. And thank you to everyone else who makes this happen for me. I appreciate it. Thank you to you guys for watching. And I will see you on the range.